At this time, I'll call the meeting of the Roselle Park Board of Education, meeting of June 18, 2023. This meeting is held in Roselle Park High School Auditorium and is an open public session of the Roselle Park Board of Education held under the Open Public Meetings Act of the state of New Jersey. Notice of this meeting was sent to the Star Ledger, local sources, the Home News Tribune, the Borough Clerk, school offices, and the district website. Roll call, please.
President Harms,
Here?
Vice President Baimonte.
He is here.
Okay. Susan Carstone,
She's absent. She's on vacation.
Lisa Figueredo,
She is out sick.
Dr. Brittany Kirkland,
She's out.
Cindy Mago,
Here.
Jennifer McCarr,
Here.
Chris Monroe,
Here.
Constance Quintella.
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, let it be resolved that the Roselle Park Board of Education meeting hereby conveys to executive session for the discussion of the following subjects: student matters, personnel matters, and attorney-client privilege. It is anticipated that the executive session shall take approximately 60 minutes. The board may take action during public session. The board shall return to public session following executive session at approximately 7 p.m. The minutes of the executive session shall be released to the public when the reason for executive session no longer exists. Can I have a motion to go in executive?
Motion.
Motion.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
We are now in executive. Thank you. Can I have a motion to go back into open?
Motion.
Have a second?
And
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I apologize to everybody in the audience. We had quite a few executive topics to talk about tonight, and I definitely apologize for being almost a half hour late. We don't have Attila. We don't have the timer. Cut on you. Cut on you.
I'll use my phone.
Okay, thank you. 3 minutes. Okay. At this time, I will open up the public portion for any agenda items only. Anyone wishing to speak, please come up, state your name and where you're from. And you have 3 minutes to speak. Thank you. I got it timed.
I know, but I like to be able to check. Katie McDermott, Roselle Park, Superintendent Goyce, it makes me so happy seeing you sitting there. I hope you know how much support you have behind you, and I look forward to all the positive changes you're going to make in Roselle Park. Agenda item 6F, the resignation of Gina Barnett, whatever, occupational therapist. To preface, I loved the old OT Miss Sue, and so did my child. However, Mrs. Barrett made more progress in the last year with my son than in all previous years combined. I don't know why she is leaving, but one of my greatest concerns is the retention of our special education teachers and related service providers. They are exceptionally smart, dedicated, and we cannot afford to lose them. As I've suggested in the past, putting together a special education committee would go a long way towards identifying issues that have a negative impact on not only educational outcomes, but also on faculty staff retention. Agenda item 20, conference attendance request. I see that both attendees are from Aldine. I don't know if they were the only two who expressed interest or if it was because most of the ABA classrooms are housed at Aldine. As I'm sure you know, ABA classrooms are not appropriate for some autistic children in the district, and autistic students can be found in all of our buildings. meetings. In the future, it would be great to see other related service providers be allowed to attend this conference. Mrs. Fulchick, for example. As I mentioned at a previous Board of Ed meeting, I've worked with countless BCBAs, and Mrs. Fulchick is by far the best BCBA I've come across. To reiterate my concerns about retention, please do whatever you can to keep her because she has done more for my son than any of his previous district BCBAs or private BCBAs combined. Agenda item 22, professional development plan. Without access to exhibit C, I don't know what is included. I hope one of the goals in the professional development plan is related to the inclusion of students with disabilities in general education settings. If not, this really should be added. I know some principals already support this goal for faculty and staff. Agenda item 40, rejecting of all RFPs. I don't know the reasoning behind the rejection of these RFPs, but I want to encourage the board to look more closely at the practice of using outside vendors. It's especially concerning in the case of special education service providers. When comparing costs, it seems that contractors are more expensive. Now, I don't know if the additional costs of healthcare and retirement ends up making them cheaper, but they do a disservice to our disabled student population. I don't have time to enumerate all the ways, but it's extensive. And the bottom line is hiring full-time staff, giving them manageable caseloads and proper support improves student outcomes long-term and isn't just a quick fix. Thank you.
Thank you.
Edward Guide, Hamilton Place, Roselle Park. Good evening and welcome, Ms. Goiz, Superintendent Goiz, your first meeting, Board of Education meeting. Actually, I want to speak about a few things. Agenda item 2.
Can you speak up a little bit?
Addenda item 2 is 2 boilers changing middle school and high school. Actually, 773,000 grand is a huge number for 2 boilers.
Sorry, can you just speak up a little bit into the
I'm
mic?
trying really. It's something
Okay.
wrong with the mic, I guess.
Okay.
You know, I don't know what to do. The middle school boiler and high school boiler changing project for almost 3/4 or more than 3/4 million. I think that's a huge number. Make me ask what kind of boiler are these? Nuclear reactors? How much is gonna cost us if we wanna build a school? And they didn't really know that they need to remove specimen, and while they assist the job. Do you hear me, guys, or no? Anybody
Say
hear?
what number it was again that you were referring to?
Addenda item 2.
We're hearing your numbers.
Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hear you?
Thank
And
you.
Where are you from? Name?
My name is James O'Keefe. I'm with an organization called OMG. And
And what particular item are you going to speak on?
I'm going to speak on the former teacher, Austin McCaffrey from Roselle Park.
It's not on the agenda. This is agenda items only. You can wait until the last and you can speak then. Thank you.
Okay. When is that happening?
It'll be at the end of the meeting.
Approximately, when will that be?
Could be, I don't know what time it is now. I don't have a watch. I'm going to say maybe half hour.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak on agenda items only? Seeing none, I will close the public portion on agenda items only. As we move on, we'll get into personnel. Agenda items 1 through 17. 1, staff appointments. 2, additional extended school year 2023 staff. 3, change of assignments, transfers. 4, summer 2023 additional child study team personnel. 5, athletic coaches 2023, 2024. Staff resignation is number 6. Number 7, salary adjustment. 8, salary additional pay. 9, high school extracurricular advisors. 10, rescinding of staff appointment. 11, curriculum writing. 12, responsive classroom training. 13, stipend. 14, summer camp staff list. 15, job description. 16, additional ESL summer enrichment program. 17, retirement compensation. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have any discussions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Vice President Biomonte,
Yes.
Cindy Maggle,
Yes.
Jennifer McCarr,
Yes, with an abstention from number 1, staff appointments.
Chris Monroe,
Yes.
Constance Quintella, President Harms.
Yes. Motion carries. As we move on to the agenda items and education, agenda items 18 through 28 and addenda item 1. 18, 2023, 2024 school year tuition and transportation. 19, Roselle Park High School technology Student Association National Trip. 20, conference attendance request. 21, district monitoring plan. Mentoring. 22, professional development plan. 23, mentoring. 24, high school and middle school athletic schedules. 25, harassment, intimidation, bullying incidents. 26, curriculum first reading. 27, 2023 extended school year tuition and transportation. 28, district contracts and assignments, agreements. And addenda item number 1, field trip under education. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second? Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Vice President Biomonte,
Yes.
Cindy Maggle,
Yes.
Jennifer McCarr,
Yes.
Chris Monroe,
Yes.
Constance Quintella,
Yes.
President Harms.
Yes. Motion carries. Under business, agenda items 29 through 40 and addenda number 2. 29, monthly certifications. 30, approval of bills. 31, approval of minutes. 32, secretary treasurer's report. 33, use of buildings and grounds. 34, budget transfers. 35, disposal of property. 36, donation acceptance. 37, settlement agreement. 38, grant approval. 39, educational services contract. 40, rejecting all RFPs for substitute staffing services for 2023, 2024 school year. Addenda items 2, item 2, middle school and high school boiler replacement change order. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Vice President Biomonte,
Yes.
Cindy Maggle,
Yes.
Jennifer McCarr,
Yes.
Chris Monroe,
Yes, abstain from 33E.
33.
33E.
Constance Quintella,
Yes.
President Harms.
Yes. Motion carries. As we move on, we move into continuing business. Do we have any continuing business? We don't have anything on here. Any reports? I was gonna, I just said we don't have any down here. So it's not on here. So we gotta make sure it's on there next time. Since there's no continuing business, I will move into any, committee reports.
Can I do
You
my
put that up and not, you're gonna do your superintendent's report.
at the end?
Yeah, no, next.
Okay,
We don't have that down here either.
it's on the top, it's on the beginning, it's on the first page.
Yeah, that's gotta be, yeah, well, that's gotta be. No, it's always, it's always. Oh. Okay, all right, relax, guys, relax, geez, crimmies, man. Okay, we don't have a principal here.
No,
correct?
nope.
Okay, so there's no principal report. All right, at this time, we'll move into the superintendent's report. Ms. Goyce?
Think it's working. Good evening, everyone. During my first few weeks in the role as superintendent here at Roselle Park, I have spent most of the time visiting our facilities and district and meeting with various stakeholders. One of the meetings in particular with the county superintendent of schools, which was not only valuable, but very beneficial. At that meeting, we discussed various educational changes and upcoming procedures in addition to our district, Roselle Park, being up for New Jersey QSAC, which is the New Jersey Quality Single Accountability Continuum, which is the Department of Education's monitoring district self-evaluation system for public districts. It is a single comprehensive accountability system that consolidates and incorporates the monitoring requirements of applicable state laws and programs and complements federally required improvements. There are 5 key components we will be working on, which is instruction and program, fiscal governance, operations, and personnel. The county superintendent shared with me the process and that more meetings would follow in the late September to help prepare for it. Other meetings consisted of central office personnel as well as other 12-month employees. All meetings proved to be productive and insightful as a discussion centered on programs, instructional matters, and some ways which we could work together to build on the great things that are already happening in our district. I am pleased to inform that my meetings have all not only been positive, but everyone has been very welcoming. I also added a superintendent's message to the website, and as we move through the year, we'll be updating it regularly. I am very honored to be in this position and working with an incredible staff and Roselle Park families that share in the same beliefs and goals for our district, which is to build on existing greatness and being intentional with sharing all the great things that our students and staff achieve throughout the year. One of my goals is to communicate with transparency and to reach all of our families by having all communication from district translated as well. I have started to put down ideas and think of constituents to invite to help in the process of also establishing a strategic plan that will continue to guide our district to greater success. During the month of September, a committee of diverse stakeholders to start the process of developing an initial draft will be established and finalized. The goals that will be created in September, together with the board, will provide a benchmark to the plan. My hope is to have a draft to the board by December at the latest. Having been an administrator in district, and as I talk to staff, I know that we have work to do. Some areas that will be at the forefront will be to make sure that all schools have established a threat assessment team as now required by law, continue to build on our STEM programs, review assessment data, both district and state, in order to provide the best education possible to our students so that they can be the best of the best among their peers in similar school districts, ensuring also that safety is at the forefront in all of our buildings, and work with new staff to provide supports to ensure their success. All of which can only be possible with creating procedures and processes that are clear and consistent across all of our schools. Ultimately, I want to make sure that all of our district staff feels valued, not just as the essential employees that they are, but as the human beings that they are, and working as one. It will only be the way that will lead us to accomplishments, to great accomplishments as a district. In conclusion, I would like to thank the Board of Education for the warm welcome and support, as well as all the Roselle Park school families. Having said that, I would ask the Board of Education to continue to work together and consider my initial and early review of areas of high importance. I will devote my energy in assisting the Board of Education to continue on the work that has already been done and start a new beginning of positive and welcoming relationships. We must never lose sight of the fact that we are the gatekeepers for public education and have a great responsibility to provide the best education to our children, both academically, but also emotionally. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to new business. I do have something. We do have a conflict with the August dates. So I'd like to get the votes to move the August 29th to August 8th due to conflicts with not having a quorum on the 21st or the 15th or the 29th. So we don't need a motion, right? Yeah. Okay. Could I have a motion to move the August 29th meeting to August 8th?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Do we have any discussion on it? Roll call, please.
Vice President Baimonte,
Yes.
Cindy Maggle,
Yes.
Jennifer McCarr,
Yes.
Chris Monroe,
Yes.
Constance Quintella, President Harms.
Yes. Just a note that we will send out to the board members that aren't present tonight to let them know, probably tomorrow or Thursday by the latest, that the meeting is changed to the 8th. So give them plenty of time to let us know if they can attend. I appreciate that, board. At this time, we will go into the public portion. Anyone in the audience wishing to speak, please come forward, state your name and where you're from, and you have 3 minutes.
I'll be short this time. Katie
Okay.
McDermott, Roselle Park. Superintendent Goyce, when the time comes for you to get that committee of community stakeholders together, I think it's vital that there are representatives from the special education community, either myself as one of the co-leaders of the CPAG, or Jackie Garcia, who's another co-leader, or Jessica Nash, who's also another co-leader. The three of us and some of our former co-leaders have asked for years to be part of committees that have been developed and part of the district, and we've never been taken up on it. And we're on the front lines. We are there with our special needs kids, and we know what's going on and we know what this district needs. So I really, really, really hope you include one of us when you put that committee together. I also wanted to give a public shout out to all of the school PTAs and PTOs for helping us set up an ESY, ESL appreciation lunch for all the faculty and staff. It will take place Tuesday at Aldine. And as far as I know, I think this might be the first teacher appreciation lunch for summer programs, but maybe it happened pre-COVID. You may not know, but the CPAG doesn't charge membership fees. We are not set up for fundraising. And when I didn't actually ask for help, I just asked for advice, because I'm not like a super PTA mom. They do all these amazing things. I had no idea what it's doing. I said, I want to do this thing. Help me make it as cheap as possible. And I was overwhelmed by the volunteers that said, I'll bring this and I'll do this and I'll go get this donation. And it was the generosity was overwhelming. And I'm telling you this because it's just a reminder about how special this town is, right? And how we need to work together towards strengthening our community. And when we do that, we're going to improve the education for all of our students and our community as well. So that's all. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi. My name is James O'Keefe, investigative journalist, and I'm from Bergen County, New Jersey. And I recently was made aware of someone that was let go in this school district. And I'm reading from a blog post here about this. the district made the right decision in firing that person, but that doesn't stop people from going to the BOE meetings trying to get Lavender, that was the person's name, reinstated. At one of the BOE meetings earlier in the year, plenty of people who got up to speak for Lavender, that was the person who was terminated, spoke for her, but there was only one parent that got to speak up for the students. So one of the missions of OMG is to create transparency in schools and record wrongdoing of teachers. This particular teacher I've been made aware of said some really horrible things, did some horrible things, posted pictures of eating babies and screwing mannequins, disturbing songs and music, and now claimed that they were fired for being trans. So to further the mission of accountability and transparency in New Jersey, we have a number of hidden cameras here today, and I'm going to be standing in the back of the room and distributing them for any parents who want to give the camera to your student. The parents that are here, I'll be back there, and if you'd like one, we'll give them to you so that you could record lying, cheating, stealing, and scamming in the schools, including in Roselle Park. Thank you. I'll be in the back.
Thank you. I have no idea.
Good evening. Dan Finney. I have 5 kids. Youngest is 10. And although it is not on your agenda this evening, I think it's probably in the forefront of your minds what is going on statewide regarding the governor's overreach and bullying by the state attorney general, in my opinion, affirming and asserting that policy guidance is somehow mandatory and enforceable by law. And I think there's going to be a reckoning with the outcome of this case. But I just wanted to speak, to this board. I reviewed your policy documents and looked through several of your policies, especially the 5000 series. And it looks to me like you filed some of the guidance appropriately as adults in the room. So I congratulate you, I applaud you, and I just want to say that I think this fight is coming to us, whether we want it or not. And I would encourage you to, stand firm for academic excellence and trying to limit the government overreach, indoctrination, and social agenda that is really, I believe, becoming a social contagion, especially regarding the LGBTQ agenda. And it's harming our kids. Our kids are being lied to. And somebody needs to stand up and speak truth and love so that they aren't confused and can enjoy their childhood focusing on their goals and their academic potential. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Michael Gomez. I'm a former NCAA American, fluent in multiple languages, product of New Jersey education. And I come here because for simple things for our children. You're here, Superintendent, you're here to protect our children, not to force these ideologies and to force these ideas onto children who are nurturing their frontal cortex. I ask you to please really investigate and really encourage the parents to report what they see, check on the teachers, because, well, hopefully they'll go on to live great lives and make a change in this world, just like I did today. I'm featured in the New York Times, ABC News, and many other news outlets. But I come here because I care for the children. I come here because, not because I don't even go to school here, but I care for the children, and it is your job, if you're sitting right there, to protect them and not to force these ideas that are being detrimental to their development. I ask you to please really evaluate your staff and do better. Thanks.
Thank you.
My name's Carolyn. And I'm here mainly just to echo what I heard this gentleman just say and the one before him. I hope and pray you'll stand up for parents and for children. And I mean all kids. I think that while the focus has been on the LGBTQ, I think the children who are not part of that, who are now called cisgender, very derogatory term for kids who are just a girl who believes she's a girl and a boy who believes he's a boy. They have derogatory names for them. Those children are being overlooked. The kids who now, there's a lot of girls afraid to go into a girl's restroom because they're afraid to use the bathroom at all because they know the possibility there will be a boy in there. Like I said, I think those children are being very much overlooked. And I did hear the superintendent tonight say that your job, safety is at the forefront, you said. I was glad to hear you say that. I agree. That should be at the forefront along with getting back to the basics in education, reading, writing, arithmetic, the things our kids need to go to college, to be successful in life, to graduate, to get a job, to raise a family. I think if we keep indulging the LGBTQ side, we are falsely leading them to believe that their problems will be solved when they change their gender, which we know is not possible. None of them will change their gender. No matter how much mutilation they do, they will not change their gender. They're born either with an X and a Y chromosome or two X's. Nothing they do will change that. And too many of those kids who do take the bait that they'll be happier if they have take the hormone blockers and have the surgery, they find out too late. They will never have children. They've destroyed their future. And unfortunately, too many schools, at the urging of the governor and his wife here, Murphy, are going along with an agenda that is extremely harmful to our kids. So I just want to encourage you to stand strong for the kids, all the kids, not just one group, but for all of them, especially the ones who are being maligned now as cisgender because they haven't taken the bait and they're, a boy that believes he's a boy and identifies as a boy, and likewise for a girl. So that was all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
I go again. President Harms, can I go again? Thank you. Hi, Katie McDermott again. I'm sitting here listening to these people who I've never seen before and who I'm not sure are Roselle Park parents, at least some of them, and maybe don't have children in the schools. I want you all to know that there aren't roving bands of LGBTQ kids harassing gender normative kids. Cisgender is not thrown around the schools of Roselle Park Middle School and the high school and any of the elementary schools as a slur. There is not a hidden agenda teaching the kids in Roselle Park that they should all be trans or gay. It is not bad for a kid who has two dads to see that in a book. It boggles my mind. There is no, I can't. So please, you're coming here and you're saying all these things, but you don't, are you really part of this community? This is just a stunt and it infuriates me. And it's not the point of why we are here. We are here to make the education of our students better. And this team up here will do that if you just let them do their job. Thanks.
Hi, thank you very much, Mr. President, for allowing us to speak. My name is Gerald Maglio, and I'm the director of the Dolores Turco Foundation, whose mission is to protect children from abuse and neglect. We believe every human being is created in the image and likeness of God, and therefore we do not discriminate against anyone for any reason, gender or otherwise. But I'm here to talk for a moment about some of the research, and I've brought you a study that is very comprehensive, the most comprehensive research in the area of transgender that every policymaker and parent should know. Thing number one, the transition or suicide claim that parents must choose between a live trans son or a dead daughter is absolutely false. In fact, in a landmark study, Swedish study, they followed transgender patients for 30 years after their transition, and found that these patients were 19 times more likely to commit suicide than the rest of the population. Thing number two, research shows that gender dysphoria in children is not permanent and usually goes away on its own by adulthood. 85% of the children who experience gender dysphoria will resolve their gender identity and confusion and accept their biological sex by the time they reach young adulthood, if they are not socially transitioned. Thing number three, social and cultural factors have a significant influence on whether a person will identify as transgender. Unfortunately, transgender identities are glorified in children's entertainment without mentioning the risks, harms, and undesirable outcomes. And schools play a, I'm sorry if I'm making noise here, play a very important role in promoting gender ideology and celebrating gender identities. And this peer influence creates a social contagion that you had heard of before. Fifth thing I wanted to say here is that there is no scientific research showing that young children benefit from being taught in school about sexuality, transgender identity, or homosexuality. One of the problems is the protocol of U.S. Gender professionals is to begin with social transitioning, followed by puberty blocking drugs and cross-sex hormones that they will take for the rest of their lives, and sex reassignment surgeries. These protocols are completely experimental, are not approved by the FDA, and involve harmful drugs such as Lupron, which is used to chemically castrate pedophiles. Another point I just wanted to make is on the transgender issue, on the issue of sexuality in the schools. You may have heard of Tim Ballard. He has made the connection.
I'm sorry, your
That's it.
time's up. Thank you.
To the board secretary, who's right here.
Hello, my name is Alice Marie. I am from Colts Neck, New Jersey, Monmouth County. I'm here just to talk about parental rights today. I don't know where you are in the policy formation of the 5756, but we had this issue come up in Colts Neck, and our board for the second reading took a stand. They wanted to wait and see how Hanover resolved their case, which was really the cowardly thing to do, in my opinion, because we all are going to be facing this in the state of New Jersey, because the governor is giving us a policy that says is not mandated, but when we don't follow the rules or adhere to the LAD, the laws against discrimination, they are asking for people to report people and to mandatory say it's discrimination. For the transgender students, we love all students, but being a parent means we need to protect students that are going in a direction that may be destructive to them. As some of the people have said, by the time that a child gets to be 18, they return to their original birth gender if they are struggling with transgender issues. There's been 11 studies, including the Toronto 2021 study that said 87.7% in that study of the boys returned to their birth gender. And so with the 11 studies, between 80 and 90% of the students do. So what is happening with the state, in my opinion, is that, and it's happening because we all have the same story we are hearing, where through the counseling and through some of the teachers, there's a suggestion that a student is uncomfortable because of probably previous trauma, that they can change their identity and they don't have to tell the parents. And I'm here to say that the parents are an integral part of a student's life, and we need to support the parents, and I'm asking you to do that. People that don't think this is a problem, I am also an educator in a high school in Monmouth County, and we had 3 transgender students out of 911 students this year. 100 students, 100 are identifying as non-binary, meaning they don't believe they are a woman or a man specifically. We're talking about a social contagion. This is happening in the state, and I ask you to stand up for the children, for the parents' rights, and don't allow the children to make the rules, because they're only children. Their frontal cortex is not developed yet. That means they don't have the discernment to make these decisions that are leading them down a path that are having them starting transition because of financial, they get it paid for before 18, that is irreversible. And take a look at what's happened in Sweden, where the
I'm
puberty
sorry, your
blockers.
time is up.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm an actual parent here at Roselle Park. I came here tonight just because I wanted to, President Harms, I had emailed you last month. I didn't hear back. It's fine. I know, things get lost in the shuffle, but on the website, the board goals only go through the 2021-2022 school year. So I was just wondering if we're going to get updates for that. I obviously know we just got new superintendent, so strategic plans, all that are coming down the road. But if it's possible to get that updated, that would be great. Also, as a parent, I want to say the teachers here have been incredible. I'm very lucky to have had the teachers that my daughter has had so far. And I'm really excited for my son to start going to the school as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Frank Aguirre, 409 Sheridan. Welcome, Ms. Boyce. Hope everybody's summer is doing as well as it could be. Just wanted to say a couple things. These meetings, a lot of people come up here and they make statements where they have questions. I was hoping in the future, whatever those statements or questions that they have, maybe can be answered via email or through a meeting. I had questions when I first started coming here about the auditorium and the field of the middle school. It took many, many meetings for that to be answered, a one-on-one meeting after the meeting. Maybe that could be faster in saying, hey, yeah, stay afterwards, I'll talk to you, or we can answer those questions like that gentleman had, maybe through via email. This way he knows what's going on, so that when he comes up to the next meeting, he'll know the answer to his own question. So hopefully in the future, we can start answering certain questions via email or being personal. One other thing is, as the auditorium is being done in the middle school, I've noticed that the field, sorry to bring this back up, has not really improved that much. I was hoping that I can get some type of answer of what the process is going forward. I know there was a process that was done, but it has not worked. So I wanted to know what the next step is in that process. And that's it. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you. Just on that last one, we'll have somebody get back to you on the field, on the process. How much? Wow, nobody else? Okay. Anyone else wishing to speak? Come on. You know there's always.
Hello, my name is Caleb Hartman and I'm from Old Bridge, New Jersey, and I would like to use my 3 minutes today to warn against this comprehensive sexual education that's going to pop up in this school. And I've wanted to talk about this. As a homeschooler, my parents taught me sexual education in a way that was appropriate for my age and upbringing and gave me books that aligned with our standards. But during this, as an 8th grader, I didn't know explicit definitions of certain sexual actions. However, had I been enrolled in the NJ standard sex ed class, I would be required to know what each of these definitions mean, with explicit images and some videos to boot. In addition, many New Jersey sanctioned books like Gender Queer by Mio Kababe, Ron Boy by Jonathan Evison, and Melissa, formerly published as George by Alex Gino, include sexually explicit images, pedophilia, and references to how real boys watch pornography, respectively. And let's be honest, this isn't an attack on LGBTQIA identities. Do you include heterosexual inappropriate materials in your libraries? No, this is sexual content, whether heterosexual or homosexual, that has infiltrated these schools. So I encourage you to stand strong against this sexual content that will pervade the school system. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks. Rich Bruin. I'm a Jersey City public school teacher for 20 years. I live in Jamesburg. Talking from experience, I do believe that the classroom is a nurturing center. We're not there to judge. The only judgment should be on how well a student responds to a prompt. Personal lives are exactly that, personal. What you do at home is your business. We don't have to flaunt it in the classroom. If I took time to focus on every lifestyle, every person out there, I would not have enough time in a school year to focus on skills. Education is skills-based. At the end of the day, the SAT does not care what you do in your personal life and wants to know how well you construct an answer using evidence, text-based evidence. Everything else is sensationalism. We spend more time sensationalizing and virtue signaling in a classroom than we do actually working on the core skills these kids need to productively enter society. Technical skill, academic skill, or a job first, whatever they're going to do after graduation. I had one student who worked real hard. She was a firecracker. I work in a school for troubled children. She was a firecracker. She got published twice this year through Amazon. One of them was Amazon. Another one was a short story put in Twisted Tales. She's so proud of herself. She has an alternative lifestyle. I spoke with her on the side. I say, listen, you do you on your private. I'm not going to judge you. But when we're in class, you're my student. We're here to work on skills. And that's it. Okay. If during a writing, a student happens to talk about their personal lives, I don't sit there and dwell on it because it's their life. Again, I'm not judging, but I'm not going to sit there and put a sticker on my door saying it's a safe place, because as an educator, every student, regardless of who and what you are, is safe in my room. I am a teacher. I am the teacher on how to better strengthen your skills, show you where you're deficient, work on it, get you to graduate so you're a little smarter at reading and writing than I am, hopefully. If not, the next teacher will help you. And then at some point, that student's going to come back and say, Gruen, thank you for busting my chops, making sure I was here instead of on a street corner selling drugs. Again, Jersey City, a lot of low income, a lot of kids don't even know who their parents are. I've had many transgendered kids come through. A couple of them were actually disruptive. Why? Because they were enjoying that sensational ride and we had to try to bow down to them. And I told them flat out, this is my room, my rules. You're going to come in and work or you're going to go to summer school. Good luck with that. End of the story. I love every single person. I don't judge anybody. But at the end of the day, the parents are responsible for their children, not me. God's going to hold them responsible just as the courts and society, because when a kid steals something, does something wrong, who has to go to court? Who has to pay the fine? The parent or guardian. Not me, the teacher, and not Governor Murphy. It leaves with the parents. It stays with the parents. Let the parents decide what they're going to do and teach these kids that when they go to work, it's to work. There's a job that has to get done. And we will become a better society when we focus on the task at hand instead of, ooh, what am I doing at home?
I'm sorry, your time is up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. At this time, I will close the public portion. if anyone on the board has anything. If not, just a reminder that the meeting will be changed to August 8th at 7 PM.
Mr. Arms, I want to
Yes.
say something.
Sure.
Um, excuse me. If you guys want, you could bring out your cameras. I'm gonna give you a viral moment right now. Welcome to Roselle Park. I know you guys are not from here, but I want you to understand that Roselle Park supports everybody. We don't care if you black, white, Spanish, gay, lesbian, bi, trans. Every child who has a space in this school. What we do on this board, I'm not sure if you did your research on us, but we protect our kids. So wherever you get your messages from, I want you to send this back to them. Let them know Roselle Park is not an agenda-based school system. We support everybody. Everyone is welcome here. We don't care what you represent. But what we're going to do is protect every child. We do not care about what you do at home. Your parents are the ones that handle that. What we do in our school is protect and educate. That's the purpose. So please go back to it, wherever you got your messages from, and let them know you do not have to come back here with this agenda. This is not the school for that. You're welcome here. If you want to come and support our programs, you can do that. But I'm not sure where you're getting your messages from, but it's not what's going on in Roselle Park. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, if there's nothing else from the board, thank you. Again, reminder, August 8th, 7 PM. At this time, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Jen.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Aye. Have a good night, everyone.